family? Happy Halloween and welcome to Dear Straight People. It's your boy Mateo J, aka Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat. You know, in the spirit of Halloween, I decided to jump on here with my costume and bring you the newest episode of Dear Straight People. So let's go ahead and jump in. Dear Straight People, stop trying to out people in the LGBTQ community. This is one of the most frustrating things for me as a gay man. This idea or this concept that you need to know whether I'm gay or not, and trying to out people who are. And this idea that if you're private or if you're choosing not to share that aspect of your life, that you're ashamed of yourself, that you're in denial, that you're fooling people, when in the reality it's nobody's business. I've had people so obsessed with knowing about my sexuality that it's caused me to feel so uncomfortable. I've left jobs, I've left school, I've left relationships and friendships because I felt like you're just so consumed by this. And this idea of trying to out me really scared me at the time, because growing up, people who were part of the community were getting killed. People were getting beat up. They were getting thrown out of their house. And now it's not that much different. There's still people who are experiencing those things. And we think because it's a new generation that it doesn't happen. It absolutely happens. And so it really just tears me up when I see people or hear people talking about yo, I think he's gay. He needs to just come out already. It's it's not your business whether he is or he isn't. I also find that sometimes we want to out people who are not part of this community as if we know them better than they know themselves. It's I know he's gay. I'm just waiting. And he don't want to admit it. Maybe because that's not who he is. Just because he talks a certain way, walks a certain way, listens to certain music, or even just enjoys certain atmospheres, it doesn't mean that that's who he is. It doesn't mean that that's who she is. So trying to put that on them is actually problematic and can really cause a lot of tension between that person and the LGBTQ community, because it's as if you're trying to pin that on them in a negative way. It sucks. And I think ultimately we just need to mind our business. It has nothing to do with you what someone enjoys. The caveat to that is I do want to acknowledge that there are people who lie and enter relationships with people. Now, if you're in a relationship with someone and you're wondering if they're dealing with someone of the same sex, then that I understand, because communication needs to be clear across. I need to know what you're doing for my safety and also for this relationship. Even if we have an open relationship, I want to be clear on who are the people that we're allowed to deal with. That's a totally different situation. I do not condone men or women who deal with the same sex behind the back of their partners. I don't condone that. And yes, you absolutely should know. You should know, even if you're jumping into a relationship with someone who may enjoy that, you should have the option and the choice. I agree with that. Other than that, it's not your business. It's not your business to know whether your brother, your uncle, your friend, your cousin, that's not your business. If you're a parent, I get why that may be your business. I get that. As a parent, you want to know. It's different if you want to know to punish your child, if you want to know to kick your child out. That's just ridiculous. I think we need to love our children just as they are, rather than putting them into harm's way and risking them being killed or mugged or raped or any of those things that LGBTQ youth experience when they're thrown out of their house. But if you want to know in order to just create an open and honest relationship with your child, or you want to know in order to protect them, I get that. But again, ultimately, it's our business to tell. It's not your business to try to get us to a place where we are now just telling the world. It's not the case. And just because someone is not sharing, it doesn't mean that they're on the down low or anything like that. Some of us just don't share. I'm someone that I'm pretty open for the most part, but there's certain times where I don't want to talk about it. It's not all of who I am. It does not make up my entire being. There's other things that are more important about me. But for the most part, I'm pretty open. It's taken me a while to get to that point. The first time I came out, I was 16 years old. And then I really didn't talk about it until 2 or 3 years ago. And it's because I didn't want to harm my family. I didn't want anyone to feel embarrassed. I didn't want harm to come to me. One of my biggest fears is having someone attack me or hurt me physically, emotionally, and mentally because of what I like. So I oftentimes will just come out and say it is what it is in order to separate myself from anyone who doesn't agree with it. But it also is a fear sometimes in spaces for me to just come out and say it. So the moral of the story is really to just respect people's spaces and allow people to come to you and express to you who they are, and understand that if they're not comfortable, it has nothing to do with you. It may have everything to do with who they are as people. And also, don't look to label people so bad. right? Allow people to just live their life freely and to be who they are without the need to place a label, without the need to force them into a box, because for some people, that's not their reality, and we want to honor and respect that. So once again, thank you for all the love and support. This is Dear Straight People, your boy Mateo J, aka Sub-Zero, signing off. Love you, family.